it was a really, really great reveal. Like that whole Sacha Baron Cohen spookiness, like the whole spoon reflection.
The time is now to announce season 2 and put it on the fast track.
At first I was like, is the pizza the answer? Oh my God.
A cowabunga bargain.
Greetings, Palaxians. Today on the Bounty Board, we're discussing the Ironheart finale and the introduction of Mephisto. So kick up that warp drive and let's punch it.
Welcome back to the Guardians of the Palaxy podcast. I'm so glad that you're here. My name's MT, and I'm here with two of my wonderful, amazing pals, Whitney and Tommy. What's going on, gang?
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, man. Ironheart.
Ironheart is finally completed, and we have some thoughts, do we?
I woke up this morning to a very enthusiastic text message from one Tommy Bechtold. He texted our group chat and said he likes this show more than like Agatha and Moon Knight.
That's enthusiasm for a straight white man is, I like this show.
No, you were more than Agatha and Moon Knight. You said that this is in your top three.
I did. I firmly place Ironheart season 1 in my top 3 of the MCU Disney Plus pantheon now for several reasons. It's not a show without flaws, and I'm not going to pretend that it is, but I think Loki had serious flaws in it as well, and WandaVision I think might just be perfect. There's certainly people have issues with it too, but yes, I mean, I'll get into it more, but I think based on the strength of Dominique Thorne's portrayal of Riri Williams, this show deserves to be in the top 3. I mean, everything else was nice little ingredients on the Sunday, but when the show is called Ironheart and she plays the main character, you have to nail the protagonist, and I think that she absolutely did for many reasons I will discuss as we go on.
How'd you feel, Whitney?
Oh man, I really, really liked it. I knew that I would. I think that this show actually has the moment that I love in an MCU movie, which is the moment where you're like, how the fuck are they gonna fucking get out of this? This is too crazy. There's no way. I loved that. I love that we had that moment in this series because truly, after the ending of the 3rd episode, I was like, she just fucked over Ezekiel Stain and the Hood. Like, there is no way she's surviving this, dog.
Right.
Like, how is she possibly gonna get out of this? So I loved it. I thought that there were appropriately high stakes. Sometimes I feel like the MCU kind of like pulls its punches with how hardcore they're willing to go and how death-defying and how close to the brink they're willing to take these heroes. But they took her all the way, baby. They took her all the way to the brink.
Yeah.
Andy Brinker style.
Oh my God. This is the second
Brink
time Brink has been invoked this week in my life, and I'm very happy about
Really?
it. Yes. The other was the Fabulous Dungeons and Daddies podcast, which Whitney and Brett turned me on to, which I'm obsessed with. Anyway, Whitney, I think you nailed it. A lot of times with these Disney Plus shows, the last episode almost feels like a deflation. Like we ramp up, and they're like, it's not really that serious. It ain't that serious. This one was like, I thought ended with an exclamation point and makes me very, very not only interested for what was going to happen with Riri Williams in the MCU in the movies, but like I really want a season 2 in this world. I think we have multiple interesting characters that are at pretty big decision points in their lives with Zeke Stain and Parker Robbins and Riri Williams herself. So I think the time is now to announce season 2 and put it on the fast track.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. Like the way that this season ended in particular, like you got to have a season 2. Like you can't just like leave us hanging, like, or at least like announce a narrative continuation of some sort. That and like where we're gonna see Riri Williams next, because like, you know, it kind of feels like the end of like The Acolyte for me. It's just like, all right, like where's more? Like I want to see what comes next. But yeah, I really enjoyed this show as a whole. Like Tommy said, Dominique's performance, incredible. Like I like a good flawed character. Like I got major vibes of like, you know, like Miss Marvel meets Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man type of vibes with this show.
Yeah.
To that point, like the flawed protagonist thing is really, I think this is pulled off by her in a way that has not really been pulled off in a long time. Like we got obsessed with anti-heroes around the time of like Breaking Bad and even a little before that with The Sopranos. But it's like at the end of the day, those characters weren't even anti-heroes by the end. They were just villains, like especially Walter White. Like really the anti-hero in Breaking Bad ended up being Jesse Pinkman. Like it was like Jesse Pinkman was always going to eventually do the right thing Walter White proved time and time again that he wasn't going to do the right thing. And I think the thing that Dominique Thorne does in this show that is so hard to do, and I mean, I love acting and I love like the skill and how hard it is to be a good actor. And like, it is really, really hard to play a character that makes tremendous, frustrating mistakes over and over again in the show, makes the wrong decision, and you still root for her. Like, you're still like, I still think that she's doing this because she thinks she's right. Oftentimes that turns them into a villain in shows where like what they did to Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones, where ultimately she becomes the villain of the show because she's so motivated to do the thing. She makes all these bad decisions in search of what she thinks is right. In this show, time and time again, she makes the wrong decision, or she makes a decision that has major consequences. I mean, the third episode ends with this moment where she screws over this guy who's trusted a person for the first time in forever in Ezekiel Stain, and she kills Brother John. It's like, I mean, she lets him die indirectly. She pulls a Batman, as we said. Yeah. I just think, like, technically, the way she was able to play this character through 6 episodes and, like, fall on her face over and over again, and it's so frustrate the audience. Like, you're going on this journey with her, and you're like, stop, do the right thing. And it's like,
stop doing that.
But you're still, like, even all the way up to the end where she makes a deal with the literal devil, and you're like, bro, I get it. I get why you did it. And I just think that it's really, from a technical standpoint of being an actor, it's like, and I'm not saying this for me. I mean, I act in horror movies and get killed in 3 seconds, but like she did an incredible job. And I think like on that merit alone, this story deserves to continue as a TV show and she in movies. Everyone else did a wonderful job as well. But I just think like that needs to be the headline of the show, is how great she was as Riri Williams.
Bro, and I also, I've got to give Lyric Ross, Natalie, her props, because she's my favorite character. Like every time she's on the screen, I'm like, yo, she's a vibe. Like when she was dancing, I was like, oh my God, like I don't know. I just thought it was really fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love her a lot. And so like those two together, I think that was amazing casting, putting those two together. But yeah, like definitely I agree with what you said. Like, you know, Dominique really held her own. Watching Dominique in Wakanda Forever, I was like, oh no, this is a really fun introduction to a character, but like, I don't feel as connected to her quite yet, because obviously this is a Wakanda story. This is a, Talokan story. So like, you know, she's a great supporting actress, but like, I didn't get enough of Riri for me to be like, oh my God, like, yes, like this is like, we finally got Ironheart. But like this show was like, oh shoot, like she properly proved herself to be totally worthy of a hero in the MCU. Like I love her, like the Chicago side of the MCU, her family, her mom's friends. I wanted more episodes in Chicago.
I want a crossover with the Bear. I want Riri Williams. I feel like those are the two most Chicago shows. Maybe I don't think The Chi is in production anymore, so I feel like those are our two Chicago shows right now, other than all of Dick Wolf's. Actually, there's a million Chicago shows. Editor, leave this in so people know how stupid I am.
No, these are the only two shows that
those are the crown jewels of the Chicago
crown jewels of Chicago, the Chicago cinematic universe.
Yes.
Just cross over with Chicago Fire, Chicago Men.
Yes.
But I guess we should talk about the big reveal. Now that we mentioned the deal with the devil, Mr. Mephisto is finally 100% in the MCU. It was a really, really great reveal. Like that whole Sacha Baron Cohen spookiness, like the whole spoon reflection when he was talking to, I was like,
straight up Exorcist. That's like Exorcist in the oven hood, the demon face in the oven hood moment. Yeah. You're like, geez.
Yeah, that was very satisfying and very exciting for the future of the MCU, because we know from, I think it's just rumored as of now, but like post Secret Wars rather, the MCU is going to take a dive into the spooky and the dark and the demonic. And so Mephisto is going to play a huge role in that, along with, I believe it was Selene. It's rumored to be Selene, rather, the villain Selene, which makes sense. And so, like, you know, obviously the Midnight Suns are coming. So, like, having Mephisto on the scene is very timely and it's very appropriate. So, like, and obviously at the very end of the show, we see Riri herself make a deal with Mephisto, which is the worst thing you could do, as Peter Parker could tell you in the comics. Don't do it.
I freaked the fuck out, because in the beginning of her conversation with him, she was totally like, oh, this is he's the devil. He's trying to trick me. And then as he continued, I swear to God, Mephisto reminded me of like one of those like white women who are involved in an MLM. And they're just like, I can make you great. I can make you powerful. You can be your own girl boss. Sign with me. You just have to pay me $5,000 and a little piece of your soul. Like, I was just like, fucking don't fall for that shit, Riri. I was so mad. I was just like, fuck no. God damn it, Mephisto. But like Tommy was saying, I do think that that is what is so cool about not only Dominique's performance, but the character in general in this scene, because you watch her go from, oh, absolutely, fuck this piece of shit idiot. I'm not going to do anything he says. And then you just slowly watch her as the conversation goes on, realize, oh my God, I could hug my best friend again.
Right.
And that's the deal breaker. You know, like that's the thing that takes away the last of her rationality when it comes to, hey, I just ripped this hood off of this dude because it was scarring him and he was like basically infused with this entity. And she knows that. She literally just took the hood off of fucking Philip Hamilton. Like you can't. So it was frustrating to watch her make that decision, but at the same time, her performance really allowed you to feel how she got there. And I thought that was sick.
Yeah, I think it paid off the fact that a lot of the major consequences Riri has had to face in her life is because she did things thinking she was going to provide safety and protection for her family, right? Like she did. Yeah. She makes all of these big leaps in the interest of keeping her mom and her loved ones safe. Now she has the chance to not like take someone from death that she cares deeply about and bring them back to life. And it's like, that is probably what it would take to get a good person to make a deal with the devil, is like something so extreme as that. I also wonder, like, there's a part of me that's like, is there something with that booth and that pizza that is like enchanting? Like, does he raise the stakes? Like, does he make people more open to suggestion by sitting them there and feeding them? Like, is that part of, like, did he convince her to make that deal? Or is it like one of those things where like the deal can't be made through coercion or it won't be a true deal? I don't know.
Dude, I was laughing so hard because at first, when we see him do the deal with the hood, I was like, is biting the pizza like signing the contract? Is that how he gets you to do it? Like he's just like
a cowabunga bargain with the devil.
Yeah, exactly. A cowabunga bargain with Satan. That's what it is. So at first I was like, is the pizza the answer? Oh my God. But then Riri doesn't eat the pizza, so I don't know. Maybe it's the breadsticks. Fucking
it's just the ambiance. What we know,
he tricks you with the pizza, but then it's secretly the breadsticks the whole time.
It's the fucking breadsticks.
I bet you a lot of really dangerous deals were made at a Pizza Hut in the 80s and 90s. So I'm sure that this is just part of the course.
The all-you-can-eat salad bar has seen some shit.
Oh yeah, but yes, Mephisto is here. It's very exciting. Sacha Baron Cohen is a fantastic actor. And I think like part of the thing that really impressed me was how subdued he was in this character that's just like flamboyant demon. And he's just kind of like, he's like playing it cool. Like, he's like, oh, I'm not a big deal. I just want to help you. Like, you're exceptional on your own, but you know, with my help, you could go to another level. It's like, he does it all as this kind of like slimy sales pitch, but you know, but he makes it, the one thing about Mephisto is he's intuitive and he knows what people desire most, and that's how you make a deal for your soul, is you promise something that is like the thing you want the most in the world. And you know, he made her an offer she couldn't refuse in that situation. I just the repercussions of that are so interesting to me. It's like I almost just can't wait for whatever comes next with these characters, because it's like I want to know who else he has deals with, you know.
Right.
Oh yeah,
we did mention like the Fortune 500 people
and the
like,
Beatles and we did an episode on Screen Crush this week about a talkback on Screen Crush about who we thought in the MCU he's already made deals with, and my pick was Sharon Carter, and that was like how she became the power broker was through a deal with Mephisto. That was my pick.
That'd be wild. That'd be absolutely wild. But yeah, no, like, well, speaking of Mephisto, like he did mention that he was like bigger or more important than Dormammu, which is kind of nuts. So it's just like, I get, and like the question also remains, like, is he even more or on the same level as Death? Because he did bring Homegirl back to life. So like, how does Death feel about that? Like, is Aubrey Plaza being like, yeah, what the hell? Or like, is he friends with Aubrey Plaza? Like, what do you guys think about that?
That is the thing, right?
Mm.
So we know this based on all like fantasy lore, fucking starting with Aladdin in, when we were little kids, the first thing you learn is the genie says, I can't bring people back from the dead.
Right.
We know that Wanda went to the ends of the earth to fucking Mount Wundagore trying to get Vision and her kids back. She invented an entire fucking false reality. We know that Agatha was literally in a sexy ass lesbian relationship with Death, and Death couldn't even save their son. Like, Death couldn't even save the child that she helped create with Agatha.
Right.
So I do not fucking believe for a second that he can actually bring the real Natalie back to life. That is not a thing that happens. Fucking Zombie Strange. That corpse, that's what would fucking happen. And I don't want that to happen to Natalie. She's too cute and too good of a dancer for me to take that kind of
Well,
nonsense.
you know what he could do?
What?
He could steal the Natalie AI and he could take a scroll, make a scroll into Natalie, and download the Natalie AI into that scroll's head. And bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, that's fucked.
We got storylines from Heroes, season 2 of Heroes on our hands.
The best season?
When Sylar becomes Peter Petrelli for a whole season.
Oh my God.
Or Nathan Petrelli.
I'm so bummed that Heroes just made that huge dip after season 1. I'm so bummed. But no, like I like both of your thinking right here because like I have this, like, as soon as I saw that, I had the theory that like as soon as Riri put this dark magic into her suit, it absorbed Natalie, and then Mephisto took that Natalie AI as like, all right, I'll just turn that data into a physical form and then like pretend like I brought the real Natalie back from the grave rather than actually resurrecting Natalie, because that's how we can sort of get away with resurrecting somebody without actually doing it. You know, like in WandaVision, Agatha was like, I would have resurrected Pietro, but like he has a bunch of holes in him. So like, if Natalie also got shot, then maybe wouldn't she have holes in her as well? Like, I mean, obviously this is
Swiss
Mephisto.
cheese lady now.
Exactly, little SpongeBob.
She was like feeling for him, wasn't she? Like when she came back in, she's like patting her stomach.
Yeah. So
true.
Something really interesting that actually one of our pals brought to my attention, because I tweeted the other day, I was like, so funny that Mephisto got into that suit for like 2 seconds and was like, okay, well, first of all, fuck AI.
Yeah.
And, like, just deleted it. So I loved that. I was like, even Satan hates ChatGPT. Fuck yes, one of us. I just tweeted that as a silly funny. And one of our pals commented and was like, and Brett, pull up the tweet in the edit. Put it down there. Look, I'm pointing at it. Look at how smart our pal is. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, what a beautiful bean. Yeah, just like this. So they mentioned, they tweeted at me and they were like, I think that Mephisto was Natalie the whole time. And that really got me thinking because, okay, 2 things. So first of all, there's the fact that Riri doesn't know how the fuck she even created Natalie. And she doesn't know how to even recreate her. I mean, granted, she really only tried for like 5 minutes. I think she needs like a little bit longer to cook. But she was in a rush. She was in a rush today.
Right.
So it makes sense that she couldn't reconfigure Natalie in a very short amount of time. But she doesn't know how Natalie even came to be. So like this, one of our pals was pointing out, like, what if he had her pegged from the start and infiltrated her AI as Natalie to slowly break her down to get her to the point where she would make the deal. And I think that's a fucking cool theory. So thank you, pal, for making me think about that, because I love that.
Yeah.
I love that theory a lot because it very much is in line with what we've seen another Feel Lord in the MCU do in Shang-Chi with the Dweller in Darkness in Wenwu. Because like he basically carrot stick. I was like, hey, your wife is behind this huge rock. Yeah. Come on. Come to this random place and come free her.
Again, and it's just fucking Elmer Fudd with a carrot on his stick trying to trick sexy Bugs Bunny into stepping on a landmine or something.
Exactly. And like I feel like that's how this dark type of magic in the MCU tends to work. Because like I feel like Mephisto dangles what you want the most and then uses your fear of losing that to sort of like have this weird dark magic sort of creep into you slowly over time. So like, Parker Robbins wanted power, so he used that. Dominique the word. Riri wanted her best friend back, so he's using that. Wanda wanted her kids back. Agatha, wanted power. And so, like, whether it's Dormammu or the Darkhold, or or even the Necrosword in 4-4, like these dark entities feed off of what people want the most, and so to slowly take them over. So I feel like that's what Mephisto's end goal is with Riri, because he says that, oh, you're not gonna miss what you lose, so like don't even worry about it. I feel like he's talking about Riri's mind.
Bitch, it's your soul. God
yeah,
damn
like
it.
Riri's mind, Riri's soul, like it's converting her into a darker person, which is messed up.
I understand that normally the devil doesn't go to Chicago looking for a soul to steal, but that's some fucking gold fiddle ass shit if I've ever seen some.
Well, one thing I thought was interesting was that Natalie comes back, and it's almost, she comes back with a similar wherewithal as people that have come back from the snap. Like, she immediately asks where Gary is. Like, she's like, where's Gary? So like she comes back at like the point of death, I think. Like whenever I think like she rebooted or whatever, exactly at the point of whenever she died, because she still is wondering where Riri's stepfather is.
Oh yeah, like 2 seconds ago when I was like, 2 things. First, and then I didn't list the second thing. The second thing, thank you for reminding me, Tommy, is that I thought the way that Natalie acted when she came back to life, I also felt like, oh no, this is how we know it's all fucked up, because she's not acting like her AI self anymore. When her AI self first showed up to say hi to Riri, she was like, hey bestie, I missed you. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. This time, like Tommy said, she's coming back. She's like, what the fuck? Why are there bullet holes? Where is Gary? What's going on? I have no idea what you mean by run diagnostics. What the fuck? And she seems like so confused to be back from the dead. And that's another like little piece of death lore, I guess, that has pervaded like, fantasy storytelling for, centuries, which is that souls aren't happy when you bring them back from the dead. Like if you bring a soul back from the dead, it's not going to be right. Like there's going to be something a little off about it, because once you die, you're supposed to stay dead. Like that's just kind of how it works.
We have 5 Pet Sematary movies teaching us this lesson.
Exactly.
When will we learn not to bring back the dead? I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Like Joey Ramone said, I don't want to be buried in a pet cemetery.
Like, what if somehow Marvel uses, I mean, obviously this is not going to happen, but what if somehow Marvel uses Natalie as the start of their Marvel Zombies event? It's like, our first zombie, Patient Zero.
Our first real zombie.
And then she bites somebody, now they're a zombie.
I'm for it.
That'd be absolutely wild. But like, so like, do you guys think that Natalie is going to eventually like wither away and like go back to death, or like disappear in some way?
Well, I think how Mephisto will manipulate Riri is like whenever she defies him in any way, Natalie will suffer adverse effects more than Riri. I think it'll be like, like she has obviously the growing Mephisto sickness in her arm, but I think like if Mephisto wants something, if she chooses, the noble, honorable path in a decision where Mephisto would want her to do the other thing, I think we'll see consequences in her bargain. Like Natalie will suffer.
No, I could totally see that happening.
No, a theory that I had about Mephisto, and this could be like totally wrong, but like I have this feeling that Mephisto is less of like this. I mean, he is like a spiritual entity, but I feel like he's also a virus of sorts. Where like, anybody that touches a chaos element or like a specific Mephisto related chaos element gets infected with Mephisto. So like when, Parker came close to the hood, he was like, all right, so like I can see you now. And like as soon when he made the bargain, like he started having that direct connection to the Mephisto entity in the same way that Riri, when she started messing with the magic, that's when she started being able to like see Mephisto and interact with him. So like I'm wondering if it like if this dark infection that's within Riri is what is actually causing her to see Mephisto rather than her getting it after. I don't know. Like it's just a weird. I have to learn more, but like it's just I'm wondering how the Mephisto science works, or if he is this super powerful deity that is just running amok.
I like the idea that Mephisto is basically COVID.
Yeah.
That's great. That makes a lot of sense.
COVID-9 demon.
COVID-9 demon. Yes.
But no, speaking of like, mind control and all that, let's talk about Ezekiel Stain and, the Hood. Like I've got to say, like, not to be a nitpicker or complainer, but like, I feel like this series did not do my boy Ezekiel Stain justice. Obviously, it's just the beginning of his character, and like, there's still more to come. But like, I feel like they very much fast tracked his origin as this like super powered like tech being, because like in the comics, like we get to see this growing resentment that he has towards the Stark legacy and all that, and so he basically augments himself, and so we saw a little bit of that. But like, I feel like they were just like, we need to give Ezekiel the powers immediately, so like, let's just have the Hood's people do it. And now he's like, he has the powers of the Mandarin from Iron Man 2. Like, I feel like that, like such a technological upgrade like that, I feel like needs to be earned a lot more than like, all right, we could just like augment anybody to just do this. Like, why not do it on themselves? Like, why is that limited to just him? I don't know.
To be fair, it really tracks for a white man suddenly realizing that he can be as confident as he fucking wants. Like, all of a sudden, he's just like, you know what? I do deserve to be fast tracked with all of this technology. I do deserve to become a little. I am fucking special.
I will take a submarine down to the Titanic.
Yeah,
exactly.
with an Xbox controller.
I will pay $2.5 million to pretend to go to space for 7 minutes. That sounds great. MT, I agree with you. I think my major bone to pick with this series is both Parker Robbins and Ezekiel Stain's introduction to the since Parker Robbins survived the show. Like, my thought was maybe they were just going to kill him off, but like, since he survived, I think neither of them really got a fully baked out, this is why these people do what they do. Like Parker Robbins, we got the TV show. Here's a flashback. His dad says he doesn't want him. He's got daddy issues. That's where this is all coming from. But the leap that he made from like hurt teenager to megalomaniacal cyber investor or cyber billionaire was a little too quick. And I definitely agree that going from Joe McGillicuddy to Zeke Stain, cybernetic superhero or supervillain or super being, was also rushed a little bit. But I think that it's because they clearly committed, in my opinion, the producers clearly committed to really hammering down Riri's story. Like, the last episode is all her. Most of the penultimate episode is mostly her and then her family, like, going into Gary's shop and starting to build the suit.
And that random 6-year-old
yes,
who they're just like, you know what? It's fine. Stay in here.
Do you remember him from 5 minutes?
Weapon.
You remember him from the first 5 minutes of the first episode? Well, he's back in Pog form. It's like,
and he's part of the family.
And he's part of the fucking team. And we're putting this child at immense risk. We're literally doing an evil seance on a robot in front of him.
I just want to say, I have given this show a lot of praise. So I feel comfortable in saying the stupidest thing about this show is that they were allowed to go to that garage where everyone who knows Riri Williams knows that's where she is. And they were able to work for like 4 days uninterrupted by any people.
Nobody trying to
nobody
find her
thought to stop by there and mess that up. Like, that was, to me, I was like, I don't know.
Okay.
Chicago's not, it's a big city, but I feel like if they already know, like, Riri Williams, she's not working under an alias. They knew where she was. The police knew how to find her.
They know where she lives.
Yeah, she's not hiding, and like 2 different very powerful people want her dead at that point, or at least out of commission. Zeke Stain didn't want her dead, obviously.
And she's making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Like, just working on this, converting a car into a suit. Like, come on, man.
She has to have used like a fucking what are like one of those like metal saws that can cut through like she was
lasers.
using one of those.
She's practicing shooting her photon cannons out of her arm in the backyard of the shop. Yes. Great show. Phenomenal show. Very, very, in my opinion, unbelievable sequence was the entire hiding in plain sight, making her new suit. But I understand that, like, listen, There's not a lot of ways to logic around that. There was no underground bunker for them to go to, or no.
It's like what are they going to do? Write in like a 20-minute plot point
go
where
go to Valentina's Avengers new Avengers Tower and work there.
Riri finds an empty warehouse out of state to set up shop in. Like, that would have been also, a boring ass 20 minutes.
I had an extreme ADHD moment a second ago, MT, and I want to go back to your Marvel Zombies thing.
Yeah, go for it.
The best way to do a Marvel Zombies thing and put it to like, not to bed, but to give it a nice payoff after What If, would be to do a 60-minute special presentation where you bring back all of the original actors from the first from phase 1 of the Avengers, like you get, and have them, and this is just an alternate universe, have them play Iron Man, Thor, Captain America as zombies, like zombify them. Just
do it.
Make the first ever 100 million Marvel special presentation, put it out on Disney Plus. And sell a ton of action figures to make up for the loss. That's how you do it. Then you got Marvel Zombies done. You don't have to make any convoluted plot points.
Honestly, that is the way to go, because like people want to see the OG Avengers.
Yes.
Let's be real. Like,
come on, Hemsworth will do it.
Hemsworth will do anything. Honestly,
he'll do anything. He's a sweet
you think
boy.
Jeremy Renner's got a second chance at life?
He's got a second chance at life, and he no longer has an app. He's free.
Right. Yeah,
he's free to do anything.
The app is gone. I don't think his band is touring, as far as I know. He's got time.
He's got time on his hands.
R.I.P. Jeremy Renner.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, we didn't know how good.
Jeremy
we think the internet. We thought the internet was bad with the Jeremy Renner app, and we had no idea what the next 5 years were going to bring us. We're like,
we had no idea how much we were going to miss the Jeremy Renner app.
The peace of the Jeremy Renner app, the simplicity of just one man's ego. And like, I guess, like susceptibility.
And a few workout routines, I guess.
The susceptibility of like suggestion by people that are just trying to like make money grabs. Being like, people will respond to an app that's just about you. That'll be great. What if Facebook was just called Jeremy? Would you like that?
I feel like it would have lasted longer. I feel like people would still be on it and using it.
Let's get a Palaxy app, you guys.
Yeah.
Let's do it to honor Jeremy Renner. Let's go in on it with Jeremy Renner.
Yes.
It'll be the 3 of us and Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner and his amazing pals. That's what the app would be called.
I'm so in. Take my money.
One question I want to ask is like the post-credit scene for this show shows the Hood walking into Zelma's store and is like, hey, let's make some magic, I guess. And I was just sort of like, what is this implying? Like, are you part of Strange Academy? Like, what's the deal here?
That was the part, you just reminded me, that was the part that I thought was silly as fuck, because I was like, hold on, Riri didn't show you a single photo of the guy that she was specifically having you do magic to help her take down. Like, that's the guy. You learned how to do robot magic specifically to take this guy down, and then he walks into your store and you're just like, no idea who that is.
Like, hey, what's going on?
Help him. And it's like, look, this is why you send your friends your enemy's Instagram so that they can stalk them and know exactly what they look like, so that they come moseying into your magic shop later. You don't sell them a fucking candle.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're right. But also,
just saying,
he's just so charming. Come on.
He's such a pretty sweet boy. He has such beautiful hair, beautiful eyes, a nice jawline. And now that he's free from all those Mephisto scars,
I don't know. He still had them though. He still has the tattoos that he did on his face.
Yeah, well, he still has the tattoos. Does he? Yeah. Do the Mephisto scars go away? Because I kind of thought, oh, maybe the scars go away. But
he
now
did seem a little
with all
healthier.
those dumbass fucking tattoos.
Yeah.
He still has the scars.
Oh, Brett says he still has them. Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm getting a note in my ear. He's still scarred. He's still scarred.
He is still
we
scarred.
can confirm he is still a scarred
we
boy.
We can confirm, Whitney, that's how scars work. They don't go away.
No, I feel like over time, like as he like doesn't use the hood like for a long period of time, the scarring will sort of go down, because like he's not being influenced by that dark magic anymore. But like
time heals all wounds. Yeah. Mephisto told us that.
Mephisto did tell us that's how it goes.
Daddy
also,
Fist.
Though, that's like the other thing that
Daddy Fist reminds me of my prison days. Good old times. Daddy Fist.
Jesus fucking.
Daddy Fist taught me a valuable lesson. So.
Oh my god!
I was gonna say something, and now all I can think about is Daddy Fist.
Well, that's all I'm going to be thinking about, guys. I don't know about you, but I am very excited. I hope they announce a season 2 sooner than later. I think that Disney Plus should listen to many, 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 many people online who did not just review bomb this show 5 minutes before it came out and actually took the time to watch all 6 episodes and are loving it. I think this show pleasantly surprised a lot of people. We all had high hopes for it, and it delivered on those high hopes. So I am all in on the Ironheart portion of the MCU.
I think my favorite grifter complaint that I've seen, it made me laugh so fucking hard. Some random grifter, I don't know who, I don't care. They tweeted, I just think it's really fucked up that Riri disrespects the name of Tony Stark after all that he's done for her. And then someone retweeted it with a fucking like screenshot of Riri saying, now you know I'm not going to put any disrespect on Tony Stark's name. And it's just like, you didn't even fucking watch the show, you piece of shit.
Also,
idiot.
I don't know. I want to break a little more news on this podcast. Tony Stark's not a real fucking person.
He's not.
What? Blasphemy. You're lying.
Tony Stark is a fictional character played by Robert Downey Jr. And his legacy is not real, therefore should not be upsetting you, unless, of course, you're trying to draw clicks to your YouTube channel, in which case then you should be very
No one would ever do that, Tommy. No one would ever do that.
Something not quite right about that, I think.
Oh, my God. But no, one quick question before we sign off. Like, we know that the Hood doesn't have his hood anymore, so he's just regular old Parker. Do you feel like the Hood's going to try to sneak his way into the Sanctum to steal some of Doctor Strange's, like, gear? Because, like, he needs a hood or something.
He needs a new cape.
What if he takes the cloak of levitation?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's got to go cape shopping somewhere. Why not Camertage?
I mean, he's going to need help because we saw in the flashbacks that he's not a great crook, right? Like, it's not in his nature to be a violently, like, terrible criminal. So it's like he is going to.
So sad.
Yeah,
you're actually kind of a shitty criminal, bro.
Yeah. You're actually kind of cringe at capers. But
no hood, no cousin John, kind of cringe.
But as far as we know, though, he still has billions of dollars, right? Like, I don't think those all went away. So,
dude, he totally ransacked his dad's collection of Bored Ape NFTs.
Man, that guy who played his dad was an A1 prick.
An A1 piece of shit.
I didn't want you.
Oh no!
Wow. I thought it would be best if we just went our separate ways. Me to my billions of dollars, you to the streets.
What a business transaction of a fatherhood.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What a terrible guy. He's on like the Moon Knight's mom tier of like terrible parents in the MCU.
Right up there with Aunt May. No, I'm just kidding. Aunt May's
no, don't you say that about my beautiful, sweet Aunt May.
Why did Mephisto bring her back instead? I'm just kidding. That's terrible.
Yo, because they're hooking up in hell. He's like, I would bring Aunt May back, but she's currently still coming from the last 5 minutes I spent with her. Sorry, Peter. You can't bring someone back mid-orgasm. They come back all wrong.
The only person in hell having a good time, Aunt May.
That's why they're sad when they come back. That's why spirits are pissed, because they're just coming the whole time. We gotta go. We've had a great time. Guys, we've learned a lot today. We've had a great time on the show. This is the last episode of Guardians of the Galaxy. Now's a great time to bring up that we have a Patreon.
Yes,
sure is.
If you want,
you don't want this to be the last episode of Guardians of the Galaxy. Please keep supporting us so we can continue to make dick jokes about the afterlife.
If you're worried that we hold back on this show and don't really let it rip, join our Patreon where we really share our opinions. We're comfortable with our deeper thoughts.
And we have an endless orgasm tier on our Patreon.
Yeah.
So
my infinite orgasm loop.
So there you
we
go.
do have a very special patron that we would like to shout out. A bean, an angel, a dream. We've got Jaron Mac Wilson today, folks. Jaron Mac Wilson.
Let me tell you a little bit about Jaron Mac Wilson. This person not only has donated major organs to me, they've also been there for me in some of my darkest times. Sure, the kidney was nice, but have you ever had a friend hold your hand through 3 bitter divorces? That's what Jaron Mac Wilson does for me.
Has done for me.
What a guy. He lulls me to sleep. He rubs my tummy when I have his tummy ache. what a
so
swell.
sweet.
He's famous for his hands-free massages, which sounds weird on paper, but are really, really electric. Nothing like a cat bath. Celebrate the 4th of July.
What the fuck? What does that have to do with the 4th of July?
What doesn't
make
have
it
to do with the
topical?
4th of July?
Just trying to make it topical. Anyways, Jaron Mac Wilson, we love you. We love you
love
more
you so
than
much.
we could ever love Mephisto. We feel like we've made a deal with the devil just to have you on our side. We appreciate
Yes.
you.
Oh my God, I'm starting to get scars.
Oh, Jesus
A shark is appearing on my arm.
I'm getting Wilson scars. Wilfisto. But yes, thank you so much for supporting the Patreon. We love you so much. And any of you guys can do the same thing by hitting that link in the description below. But like always, you guys have been amazing for watching this episode of Guardians of the Palaxy. Be good to your pals and be kind to everyone that you see. And we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye. Don't sell your soul.
Yes. Unless it's for capitalism.
Yeah,
Then do that.
that'd make a few bucks.
Bye.